Um, Thank you, beautiful ladies. Thank you for joining this amazing session. I'm so happy this time because I am not the one who's delivering the session. Pooja has very graciously volunteered to debrief the book Do a Big Shit by Ankur Warikoo. I've still not completed reading the book, and I was telling Pooja, just because she was in charge of presenting, I I laxed and I missed completing the book. So I am looking forward to what you have uncovered, Poojan. I'm sure people who've read will share more as we go along. Thank you so much. Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present the book. It's a very interesting book, and I think every page, in fact, every sentence has a different meaning, and can we can delve on each sentence on its own. So I have tried encapsulating what resonated a lot with me, but I'm sure all of you who have read even if bits and pieces of this book would have some different takes or some different points which will be dear to you. So it will be great if you could also share your point of views on that. So I'll just present. So yeah, this is Ankur's book. And I've been following him for a long time, and I'll also tell you the reason why I've been following him for a long time. I was myself a communication and confidence coach, and whatever he talked was made sense to me. And in India, we don't have so many coaches who are giving their thoughts openly like that and making sense of it. So I have been a part of what Ankur's um, bandwagon, and on LinkedIn or on Insta, I follow him. So, and I have this book for the past 2, 3 years, but I was like, whenever I open it, I'm like, oh, you know what? This is a very interesting thought. Let me park it and think about it. And then I never ever completed 3 chapters, and that's what I have done even now. I still have to do the next 3 chapters. So we'll start with that. Ankur has talked about success and failure. So it's very interesting how he has used failure in brackets. It's uh, it's his interpretation of saying the relationship he has with success, all his experiences, they have come through failures, and that's what has made him successful. And I thought that was very powerful because all of us go through it, but we generally see, and others also, we only see that the successful part or successful bit of their journey. We don't know the failures, the the negative thoughts they would have gone through when they were becoming so successful in doing something. So, and this I found very interesting again. Luck happens to those that make things happen. It is very profound, and I'm reading a book called Serendipity by Christian Bush. He says the same thing, that if you work towards luck, only if you try to do something new, you say hello to strangers, only then something will happen to you. If you find, let's say you're not married, or if you are a startup and you're looking for funding, if you talk to a stranger, let's say in a party or in a random place, you never know who you'll meet. And I think meeting Shanti has happened like that for me as well. I met Shanti in one of the conferences, and I I didn't even think that how we will have that relationship and what kind of relationship we'll have going forward. But that first step of going and saying hello to Shanti, I think that really helped me in building this relationship. And Shanti is like so warm that she was very happy to uh, come forward and say hello and keep in touch. So other success will generate massive self-doubt every morning when you get up, but get up anyway. We all self-doubt ourselves all the time. We always look um, on our shoulders and see if somebody is racing ahead of us, and that's the self-doubt we have. And I thought that there are times when you don't want to do anything. And this books, it looks like that, that is talking to me, because there are days when I feel I just can't do it. And then it says get up anyway. So I'm like, okay, yes, it's a new day. So let's start doing things afresh, even if I've got a setback. A year from now, you will wish you had started today. And yes, procrastination. We will only have regrets and not results if we don't start. And that was also very profound, because yes, I'm again taking it back to myself, because all these things are happening to me in some form or the other. Um, in the beginning of the year, I thought I will be a very consistent LinkedIn post writer, and frankly speaking, it's sporadic. I haven't started doing it because I want to wear multiple hats, and I don't know what will work and what will not work. I want to be perfect, and that's the reason I have not started till now. And I feel that regret that I haven't started. So until you start, you will not have the chance to get a like or a repost from your favorite um, influencer, right? And we have just one life. Why live with just one identity? Yeah, Kanksha.
So, I'm a very strong believer in this, that there's nothing called luck. I keep hearing from friends or, some family members that, this person is very lucky or you are not that lucky, whatever it may be. But I would truly, truly believe that there's nothing called luck. And it is more about how persistent, disciplined, and hardworking you are, because you probably have not seen that side of the other person and you're now just claiming them to be lucky. But I really don't think that that's how things work. um, there is many famous quotes where people say that you have not seen the 10,000 things that I have done. You're just seeing this one thing that I am doing and which is visible to you, but you do not know the 10,000 things that I have done in my past to be where I am today. So, this is like, I truly do not believe in luck. I don't know what others feel about it, because I know there's so many things in today's world, especially where you have astro talk and things like this that are there. But I really believe that if you are putting in your best foot forward and doing all your hard work with discipline. Discipline is one thing that's very important. If you're doing hard work in just crests and troughs, that's not how it's going to work. You have to be very disciplined in whatever hard work you're doing. If you do all that, then I think success just follows. There's nothing that can stop you then.
That's true, Kanksha. I think I also agree with that. That we call ourselves lucky, but luck is all hard work and foresight, that you consistently keep doing the same thing and it builds over time. And then we see that, oh, she's doing so good or he's doing so good. It's that they have put in a lot of hard work. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to say, ki, oh, you know what, he's very lucky. Unless you're born with a silver spoon, maybe, and even then you can probably just erode your.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I
Didi.
remember something very probably trivial to mention right now, but I remember that I might be 10 years old or something at that point of time. So I had actually gone out to this Mela kind of a thing. So I'm from Calcutta, so there, during Durga Puja, you
Yes,
have these things. So I'd gone out with my parents, and there was this thing where you put in 1 rupee coin and it gives out something. You ask a question, and they're going to give you an answer, yes or no, kind of a thing. So I wanted to do that, and I still remember this very clearly, that my dad had asked me that, okay, what are you going to ask?
Hmm.
I said that I have these tests coming up, so I'm going to ask, how am I going to perform in this test?
Hmm. Oh,
So
wow.
he said okay. Then he said, okay, the answer may come yes or may come no. I said yeah. So he said, okay, if the answer comes yes, you are going to feel that, oh, that's great, I am going to do well, so probably there's no need to study.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That happened
And
to
if
me
the
too.
answer And if the answer comes no, then you may feel that, the answer is anyways no, I'm not going to do well any which way, so why should I study? So I was like, okay, yes, makes sense. So, that is something that I have learned from him. And that is, something so long back that I had learned. But that has always been my motto in life.
I totally agree. It has happened to me too. So, you know how you do astrology? My parents made me do it, and I'm like, that Panditji was like, okay, she'll do very well. पढ़ना ही बंद कर दिया. I said, हो गया. I'm done. Yeah, Preeti, you wanted to say something.
So I saw another point on the screen which said, why
Just to interrupt, can everybody have their videos on? It is very good to see the faces when you're speaking. Otherwise, it's like I'm talking to a screen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
there was another mention on the slide which said, why have just one identity? Um, so this is something I have been contemplating on for the last 2-3 weeks, to be honest, and I found that very resonating with what I've been thinking. So I do have different identities. People who know me will know that I'm a behavioral and leadership trainer, coach. I'm also a singer. I also teach music. I'm also a writer, and I'm also an entrepreneur. I have my own travel planning firm. The last few weeks I've been quite worried if that is a good thing to do or not, because every time I'm trying to create a social media presence, I'm very confused which one I should be highlighting. I know it depends on the target audience, but a lot of times, for example, when I'm at work, the tech company I work for, uh, I feel very lost that they don't know I'm an entrepreneur. Oh my god, they don't know I'm also a artist. So I feel very lost. I don't know if this is the right thing to be doing. So I hope this book has some answers for that too. If we have multiple identities, how do you manage that? How do you juggle between them? Because that is becoming quite a challenge for me of late. So
Very interesting. Anybody has some advice for
yes,
Preeti?
yes, please.
I don't
Beautifully.
have an advice. I can relate to that a lot, Preeti. That, you're a
Okay.
mother, you're a spouse, you're an entrepreneur, you're a trainer, you're a coach, you're this, you're that. I don't have any of the creative stuff that you mentioned, but in in all the roles, I think um, you in a day you play different roles at different points in time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I'm a mother, my tone will change, my language will change, my facial expressions, body language will change. When I'm a trainer, it will be different. When I'm a coach, it will be different. So I think I move around all of these roles, embracing all the identities. So be it. When I'm a coach, I'm not a mother. So be it.
No,
Hmm.
right, Shanti. So I think her question is ki how does she project herself on social media?
Hmm.
I have the same conundrum ki kya karna hai? How do
Yeah.
you what do you be? And
Different
how do
things again, different posts. In some posts, I'm talking like a parent. In some posts, I'm talking like a coach. In some posts, I'm talking like an entrepreneur, sometimes manager. Again, uh, it's the story that you're sharing behind the post that
Hmm.
drives your tone, your language, is what, at least for me, that's what I'm thinking. I've written as a
Okay.
coachee, I've written posts, as a coach, I've written posts, as a trainee, sitting and being that participant. What did it make me do, feel, think? I've written that. What did I feel as a trainer? I've written that. So yeah, I think. But that's a good question, Preeti. I don't know whether it's confusing my audience too. I've never thought about it. No, are they getting confused with okay? So many things.
Yeah,
it is?
especially the one with me, because they all are from very different ecosystems. A lot of times, I'm wondering if maybe the target audience are waiting for a post related to my work, and suddenly I'm putting up a song today, and then they're looking up. It gets very confusing. Though I have different, again, I don't want to take too much time. Though I have different profiles for different roles. A writer, I have a different Instagram. I have for my company, I have a different Instagram. But somewhere it's not, I don't know how to bring it all together as Preeti and project on LinkedIn or whatever. So okay, I know this is a long discussion. If anybody has ideas, please do ping me. I'll connect with you separately. Over to you, Pooja.
Awesome. So yeah, there will be lots of questions which will keep coming, and we'll keep talking about it. Okay, and the next is the biggest misconception people have is that they are the odd ones out and everyone else is sorted. I thought that that's also very poetic because we always think that सबको आता है, सबको पता है क्या करना है, and I'm the only one who's meddling in the dark. I don't know which side to go or what to do, and we need to be kind to ourselves because everybody is fighting their own battles and they're trying to go one step at a time, especially those people who we think are sorted, especially those, right? Any thoughts, Beulah? Sorry, I'm cold
Yeah, I
calling.
agree.
That's the way I have been.
No, no, I agree. I think that thought comes at least once in a day. That maybe I have not figured it out. Maybe I'm juggling and all of that. Yeah.
I've made
Wanted to
peace with
remind
my
ourselves to
life.
be kind.
I've made peace with what I have, uh, and what's in my control and what's not in my control.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I look at a situation. Is this in my control? Then yes, then action should come from me, or I seek support. Right? There are days when I don't know an answer. I don't know. I raise my hand and ask for help. That's something I've learned. I don't penalize myself if I don't know. I don't know. I'm ready to learn. Right? But I raise my hand and seek help. But if something is beyond my control, I'm not fretting over.
You don't
Fine.
fret over it. That's a
No
very
matter
good
what I
learning.
do,
Hmm.
no matter what I do, I will not be able to. Maybe somebody has an opinion about me. No matter what I do, maybe it's a deep rooted thing. I'm not going to put effort changing the perception unless it's going to really impact my career or where I would want to go and have a conversation and say, hey, what is driving you to think positive, not so positive about me. But if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. I just move on because I can't keep everybody happy. I'm very clear about that.
Good, good. Ashita, Sakti, Pratibha, do you have any thoughts? Kancha, do you want to add to this? Because for
Um,
me, it was a
you
lot.
know,
Hmm.
actually, with the kind of trajectory in terms of the professional life that I have seen for myself, with all the mistakes and everything that I have done. So it always makes me wonder that, the other person is so sorted. They're so much better off, or they've reached certain, heights, which I have not been able to, if I look at my peers. So, it always runs in my head. But then when I actually look at some friends of mine or even cousins of mine, then I do realize when we are talking, I do realize that, not everyone has everything figured out. They don't. If, and somebody may be very professionally at a success, point, but they may or may not be very happy in their family life, right? So it's not always about what we do professionally, because of course in social media and everything, especially on LinkedIn, everything, oh my god, look at the achievements, I so I end up feeling very overwhelmed. But then when I'm talking to certain people and everything, I realize that, okay, this person is actually struggling with this,
That's
and I am
right.
blessed that I am not struggling with this. It may be a health issue, it may be a family issue, anything. It can be so many other things. There is not just one way to look at the circle, right? Like a circle has multiple points, so they can look at it from any angle, and I am
True.
looking at it probably from just one lens. So,
Yeah.
that has made me much more relaxed, that, okay, I should keep moving forward and eventually I will get on track. Let me not worry too much. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a good thought because changing the lens is important. Yeah, Ishita.
I so resonate with you, Akansha, when you shared that we pick our lens, what we want to see within that. Um, that reminded me whenever I had my uh, doubts that what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Or I always take some time journaling, and that helps a lot, like really a lot to understand what you were doing earlier, why you were doing it, and where have you reached as of now. Um, I have a very beautiful journal. It was gifted by someone. It says "Find Your Balance," and it's a very beautiful one.
Yes.
So, um, in this, I don't write every day. I write on very few occasions when I'm overwhelmed with something good or overwhelmed with something not very pleasant. But it really helps me track. I sometimes, go to the older pages and see what I wanted to achieve maybe 2 years down the line. Today, it's like nothing to me. This is my day to day work, what I wanted to achieve and desperately wanted to achieve. Maybe that unconsciously also prepares your mind to start moving towards those roads which will take you to what you call success. But I feel success is never ending thing. I mean, you are always like moving forward to something. And when you actually receive it, you have actually attained a milestone. It doesn't feel like a success anymore because you have worked so hard. You have been in those situations and you have prepared yourself for that day. That really helps at journaling to find out where you are, what you wanted to.
Oh, that's nice.
Preeti
Preeti,
says she
what are
does
you?
journaling too.
That's nice.
Just to, add to what Ishita said. So we used to make this 5 year goal that, okay, after 5 years, this should be our goal and this is where we should be. So, and then sometimes when you're actually just, rummaging through these pages, and then you realize, oh, this has been achieved. And I did not even realize this, that I have actually achieved what I want, where I wanted to be. And that sense of accomplishment is very priceless. And I don't think that happens unless you actually put it down somewhere that, this is where I do want to be. And then when you are there, like, the time capsule activity that we were doing in the so I always wanted to be in a space of learning and development. So, and that was something that I was hoping for the past 3 years. And today I am there. So
Right.
even that is, a milestone that I have achieved. So I should feel very proud of myself that yes, I have landed here. So from here on, I will definitely move forward.
Lovely, lovely. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I am like, oh, Ishita and Sakshi work with Shanti. They must be getting so many nuggets every day, right? So, so yes, I think, and in the book, Ankur says that maybe your juniors are making more money or they have more fame, and you might feel unsuccessful. And I see that happening to me. This was something which I wanted to share at the last, but Ankur is a year junior to me from ISB. So yeah, then you feel yes, Shanti.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot since I became a coach because I asked this question as a coach, what does success mean to you? And every time I hear my coachee respond in terms of what success means to them, is something very different every single time. And people can define success with a very simple thing like, can I go to sleep without any stress in my head? Empty headed, can I go from there to I want to be the next MD to, it just varies and everybody is working towards their definition of success. Um, that's
That
what
is
came to me with all the sharing that, all of us have our own definition of success and we should celebrate every time we are near there achieve.
that's right. That's right. Okay, next. So 6 points, which there were lots of them, but I have picked up six so that it's easier for us to manage. Persistence. So Ankur talked about that. Keep doing whatever you're doing, and if you're passionate about something, that persistence will automatically come into picture. You will want to do it. So for a success, this is one very important ingredient. And the second, he said consistency and authenticity. So he said, without being authentic, you will not be able to be consistent. So Preeti, to your question, what should I do? I wear multiple hats. I think because we have multiple hats, we are not able to wrap our head around it. And it's the same with me. So maybe because of that, I'm not able to post consistently. So I think we still need to find our authentic style of writing, or the authentic style of what we want to tell people. And once that happens, consistency will obviously come. And you need to keep going. I was reading um, a sentence somewhere. It said that don't look at motivation, be disciplined. And that is what we need to do to be able to continue doing what we are doing. So if I want to lose weight, I'm like, aaj man nahi kar raha hai exercise karne ka, and that's happening with me, so I don't go. But if it's a discipline, then I have to do it, and I will do it. And that's what I'm still working towards, getting that discipline in my life. Curiosity was another thing which he said was very important. He's like, we're all born with it, but our parents, our school systems, they all killed curiosity. That don't ask questions, don't be silly. But he's like, be fair. It is important to ask why this and why not that, why this is happening and why this is not happening. And there is a very interesting book by Simon Sinek which has come out on why. So somebody wrote that if Simon Sinek was in India, this book would not have come out, because we don't like, authorities don't like to be questioned why. And that is an important thing. Why should we do this, or why should this not happen? These are important questions we should be curious about. Somebody who we think is a pro, maybe like Preeti probably sings every day, and that is the reason she's a pro. She's able to say, okay, I can teach. It's important that you keep doing the same thing every day, and an amateur will never be an amateur if he or she keeps practicing every day, or doing something and getting an incremental benefit of what they are doing. And do the unconventional. I thought that was also very interesting. He said, just let me go to that page. So it's a very big chapter. Chapter 1. It has mistakes he made in his 20s, 30s, and 40s. So it's interesting. Okay, I can't find it now. I had bookmarked it. Anyway, so he said, do the unconventional. If you keep doing the same things, it will not change. Do something different, something out of the box, and that's what will help you become a better version of you. And find a mentor. Again, this was very interesting. Finding a mentor. He said it's not important that you only look at somebody who's achieved something in life. Even people who are at your level or a little above, they can give you different perspectives, and there's no need to have just one mentor. Have multiple mentors. So, because everybody teaches different things, and that is the importance of having a mentor, because you come to know about how you should do things, or what you're doing right or what you're not doing right. They see it from their perspective and tell you. Anybody wants to share their experience of what is working for them or what they should adopt?
I'm just going to post Gopal's LinkedIn post that you're mentioning in the chat now.
Okay. Gopal Iyer?
Yeah, that's the one you're talking about, right? If it were in India, that book
I
would have
think
been.
so. I
Yeah,
saw it today. I don't remember who.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this one. And this I think this is happening with all of us. Question why it makes us uneasy. Even when my kids ask me why is, I'm like, because I said so. Right now, I can say that with the kids, but it can't happen, right? In your office setting and with your other people, and maybe 6 months down the line, my kids will say, okay, you know what? If you don't give us a reason, we'll not do it. But it's it's important. Yeah, Kanksha.
So, on this why aspect, so I used to teach maths and science to students. From the age of, I mean, from the class 7 to 10 is something that I used to teach maths and science. So, in science, especially in physics and chemistry, I would always encourage them to ask why. I used to be very persistent that please ask. Because if I'm just telling you, and because I'm your teacher and you just accept it, you might remember this for probably, 3 months, 4 months. But if you ask me why, and you understand the logic behind this entire thing, that is
Hmm.
when you're going to be able to retain this, that okay, this is why it is like this, and hence you'll be able to apply it. So this has been one very important learning for me, that yes, I agree that schools do that, that like when I would talk to them and everything, they used to be like, ma'am, you teach like this in school, they tell us this, just learn it, just learn it. And you always say, ki, nahi, ask questions, ask questions. So this has been the contrast that is definitely there. And then one thing that I would want to adopt, because you asked, anything that we would want to adopt in our life, I think I would definitely would like to adopt some consistency. Authenticity is there, but I think consistency is one place that I lack. I know it is important, I definitely do, but I am not being able to show up every day. Like, I do aim to spend at least half an hour. I want to start with half an hour to 1 hour every day I want to spend with myself learning something. But that's something that I am unable to do at the moment. So that is something that I definitely want to achieve.
I think that should be everybody's goal, all of us. Even I should write it down that learn something new. So I'm sure a lot of us would have this in our minds. कि ये करना है, but until we come to the brink that we can't go further without doing this, we don't do it. I mean, at least I. So I think this is a good reminder to all of us that to be successful, you need to do all these. You have to put all these ingredients together on to be successful. Yeah, yeah, Ishita.
Yeah, actually, I was about to say what you just said, Pooja.
Read your
Sometimes
mind.
just the reflection of, okay, this is something that I want to do, but I've forgotten with so many things happening. I just recalled an instance asking the why thing. I'm a mother of a 4-year-old, and she has taught me asking why so well. Uh, you know, for and she is just a 4-year-old child, but she still uh, has the mindset to even speak out. Why am I saying it's okay every time? And I was sharing in one of the sessions that uh, she dropped a drop of water while drinking water, and I said, "Mama, it's okay." And she was like, "Mama, stop saying okay every time." Um, I, I was speechless for a minute. What do I answer? Then I thought I don't have to answer everything, but yeah, I mean, we as a parent we learn again to ask a lot of questions.
No, I know. I think our kids teach us a lot. Especially for me, it was patience. Yeah. Anybody else wants to share?
I was encouraged by one of my Dadiji in-laws to ask why. I married into a very different culture. So I used to have always this, why are we doing this? Why are we not doing this? Why do we do this? I used to have lots of questions, to which the immediate adults or elders would say, we've done it like this all the while. This is how it happens in our place. And I think my face just showed that. I don't agree, but I will do it just because you're saying. They could see that in my face. So that old Dadi ji, she called me and she said, you know what? जो आज की हालत है ना वो तुम्हारी सासों की वजह से ही है. उन्होंने कभी किसी से पूछा ही नहीं कि क्यों हम ऐसा करते हैं. उनकी बात मत सुन, मेरे पास अब मैं बताऊंगी. And she gave me such logical reasons for what I thought was illogical. She said, we are forgetting our culture, we are forgetting why we started doing things, and everything had a reason. And just because people didn't ask why, and those reasons are also lost. So now it becomes just because I say so. So yeah, that still stays with me.
No, I think that's totally true. There are lots of things which we think, especially now the old traditions and rituals, why we do it. We just do it because our parents have done it, our grandparents have done it. And when you get married into a family which is very different, uh, it just confuses your mind. Your brains, your wires are like, what is happening? This is not the way we do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. And the same thing in offices also. We are being taught design thinking, uh, while it should not have been a course at all, because it should have been taught in the schools that ask whys, empathize, all these small things which we are asking now, teaching, and it should be a part of school. And parents should encourage whys. Okay, what about mentors? How many of you have mentors? This is a question which I have persistently asked. Okay, Shanti has a mentor. How did you find your mentor, Viola? Okay.
I have
How did you
multiple mentors, different mentors for different aspects of my life.
Okay, Sakshi. Okay. How did you find your mentors? Or, how do you approach your mentors? Or prospective mentor that you want to have a mentor, that you want them to be a mentor.
Um, I keep asking questions, and I think some of them now know that I consider them as mentors because I keep asking them, if you were me, what would you do? What would you do in this situation? Some of the more work related mentors, I had to announce that, would you be kind enough to be my mentor? Uh, Funnily, that person said, Shanti, I was thinking of asking you the same. I said, let's co mentor each other. So that's also been happening.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Viola, how did you find your mentor?
We had a formal setup in when I was in EY, where all the women leaders, we had a list of leaders who volunteered to be mentors, and their skill sets were there, and we could pick a mentor for a year. So every year, 7 years I've had mentors. Some of them continue to be my mentor. Yeah, even though I moved out of the organization, just a phone call away. Sometimes there are certain, work-related challenges, and I just bounce off my ideas or, ask them the question, and the ideas come. Right? Sometimes it's just a WhatsApp chat. Sometimes I would have posted something, and my mentor would pick up the phone and say, "Kya ho raha hai? Are you okay?" Right? So that's the kind of connect I've had. And in my team as well, right? So there are, and one thing I'm very clear that I don't have to know everything and sit to manage a team. I don't know and I don't know. So I raise my hand and ask my team. So I have my junior members who come forward and support. Right. So I've very strongly believed in reverse mentoring. And I have a bunch of them who teach me on a daily basis. I don't know, I quickly ask them for support. And I've had people come forward and support.
Lovely. That's lovely. Sakshi, how did you find your mentor? And what out of these 6 things do you want to pick up for your success?
Um, Consistency.
Okay.
First, let's talk about the mentor thing. So, it was not planned exactly. Matlab, I was coming back from Kota because I did not want to do NEET coaching anymore, like preparations anymore. And then my mother suggested to talk to her brother, who's my mama, because he could guide me, help me, and he's doing great things and all of that. I was like, ठीक है, ज्ञान देंगे, usual stuff, ऐसा करो, वैसा करो. Okay, I'll talk. I started talking to him, and I eventually figured the coaching thing that we do here he was not telling me exactly ki, read this book, yeah, do this particular thing. He was just sharing his experiences, asking me things that I wanted to be questioned about and I wanted to give answers on. And today he's in Bangalore. I had never thought I would come to Bangalore, never thought I would do job and all of this. Everything is so sorted and he's the best person. And still, without even asking, he just, connects the point and makes it just makes the things right for me. And he's the close relative and he has been like a mix of Gen Z, but he's a millennial.
Okay,
So
nice.
very cool guy. Like we go party together. Just yesterday only we went partying together and it was great.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And you want to pick up consistency.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, Ishita.
First of all, thank you, Sakshi. Your answer actually gave me the confidence that I can share what I was thinking. Uh, for me, picking up mentors had always a very selfish route. I wanted to get guidance. I knew who will have the right advice for me, or maybe talk to a couple of people who can guide me what to do, what not to do. Maybe they will have different opinions, and I will gather whatever suits the best in my situation, and I can take my decision what I want to do. It's recently that I've started naming it as a mentor. Um, so for something personal, I have so many mentors. I don't know if I if I have if they know that they have been mentoring me. So my there is a conflict of interest, but yes, I pick and choose. What should I tell them? What should I ask them to get the relevant answers? Or so my mother-in-law always talks about um, parenting is just the flow. You don't have to be very bothered about or worried about parenting. Otherwise, you'll screw it up. You think about how it is it's like a part of your life. It's like normal thing, uh, and like that. And that's why for anything related to parenting, and where I don't want to be hard on my child, I always reach out to my mother-in-law. For anything health related, I reach out to my mom because I know she has the interest there. She wants me to stay healthy all the time. I will reach out to her. I have some ex-colleagues, ex-bosses who are there to guide me. Sometimes there are conflict of interest, but then I pick and choose who do I reach out to. But many of them, especially the people who are personally related to me or who I share a relationship with in my personal life, they do not know that they are a mentor to me, and I reach out to them for guidance. And it is now suddenly I realize that it is so important to speak that you are my mentor for this. I reach out to you for guidance related to this. That way, they will be doing it even better, even more, even wholeheartedly, because who doesn't like to hear this? That also reminds me that I am also a mentor to my younger brother. He calls me for anything related to the child, the family, and things like that. I don't know what he does. I never follow up asking if you did this or not, but then um, and some of my ex-colleagues who reach out to me when they feel stuck. And that feels good that I'm able to help them. And that feels upsetting if I'm not able to help them. Just recently I was in Bangalore and an ex-colleague reached out to me and I was not in a right situation to help her. I did not have any answers for her. But yeah. I think it's very important to announce that you are my mentor for mutual benefits, of course.
Good thought. Yeah. Okay. So yes. His next chapter is on habits. Habits build us, goals lay us barren. So my question to you all is that a right statement? Do you think that's true? Do do the targets or the goals which we set for ourselves, they make us empty? I mean, I think I'm having conflicting views here, and I was not sure, so I thought, I'll ask my audience, what do they think? Do you think this resonates with you, or do you have a perspective on this? How does it work?
An example to explain it, I quickly
Sure.
thought of it. Uh, I want to have apples. Like I want to plant a tree and eat fresh apples. until I have the seeds, I am taking care of it watering it daily. How can I expect to get it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's habits and goals for me.
Okay. No, but goals lay us barren. What
Yeah,
do you think the author really meant by that?
yeah. I mean, they leave us barren. They leave us with nothing. I mean, there's no foundation, and it's like a barren land that it's. How do I explain it? I don't know.
Okay. Anybody
Can I
else wants
try?
to? Yeah,
Can I
Ishita.
try? I feel what is meant by this is the goals are like a empty canvas. Now, building a habit would be picking up a paintbrush, choosing your colors, and then painting it. This is what I am looking at it as. Why canvas? Because I love the colors and designs of this PPT. So yeah, this is what I understood from this. And yes, that is true. Only the habits can lead us to our goals.
Yeah, so that's true. So he says that, so what I understood from his interpretation was that, we have goals. Let's say we have to do a marathon, and we'll work towards it, finish a marathon, and be happy about it. But that's the goal. We have achieved it. Now what? But if we consistently keep working towards building ourselves, the goal was not just marathon, the goal was also fitness. And fitness will not happen if we just sporadically run a marathon. We have to keep working, keep inching towards our fitness. And then when we run the marathon, uh, we'll be fit and we would have achieved that, and it will help us in different spheres. So just like you, Ishita, when you mentioned about canvas, I like to paint. So if I have a picture, I can just copy it and paint it. But learning the art, learning how I can do something different, eat, add my personality or my elements in that picture, that's what slowly working towards painting has helped me gain the confidence that I can do something different. So if you give me a picture, I will probably make that picture, but we will see some of me in that picture. So yeah, that's what I think he meant, that goals just lay us barren, because ek bari ho gaya, then what? I'm sorry if I'm using Hindi. It's so intuitive. If someone of you doesn't speak Hindi and are not comfortable, please let me know. I'll try to be only in English. Yeah. Shanti, you want to add to this?
Yeah, there was one more perspective that came to me, is that having big, bright goals does not bring in momentum, does not bring in action, does not bring in progress. It's by for that progress to happen, you need to build a habit of inching towards it every single day. That's the meaning I made from the statement.
That's right. Yeah. So yes, you don't think about it because we are so busy with our goals and targets. That's how corporate works, and that's how we've been working for our exams. That's become a part of us. But thinking deeply, you need to make a habit of studying consistently again to be able to do well in your exams. Is something which we need to work upon. And I think consistency is the big word for me this year. Okay. Again, my 6 pointers: waking up early. So it was very interesting because this is something I really swear by. People say, oh, we can't wake up early. And Ankur says the same thing, that the problem is not in waking up early. The problem is that you need to sleep on time. You need those 8 hours, 7 or 8 hours. So if you sleep at 11, you are not going to get up at 5 o'clock. You have to sleep at 10 or 9, and all successful people sleep early. They sleep early because in the morning, that golden hour, they use to plan their growth, their success. And if you're partying all night or you're watching TV, which we try not to, but still you end up doing it, and the next day for me is ruined because I am so groggy because As a mother, you always have to get up at the same time in weekdays, right? So for him, it was like, waking up early will happen automatically if you start sleeping on time. The second was, he's like, you will not get a no until you really ask. And what are you losing if you think that person, if you're assuming that person is going to say no, anyway, it's a no. So how does it matter if you ask and then you get a no? So again, I thought that was very profound. That yes, sometimes we assume ki, people will say no to us. Third is laziness. So he said it's not about laziness, it's about something you don't want to do. Yeah, Shanti, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. You're right. So he said, you will do something because you love it. So don't say laziness, because it's not laziness. It's like, maybe you don't like to do it, or maybe something which, so you have to reframe your mind and do that thing so that you love doing it and you'll do it. And then he's talked about reading. In my kids' school, they talk about reading a lot. They want to inculcate the habit of reading. So my elder one was a very good reader, so I'm like all sorted. But my younger one didn't want to read. And I went to the school, I'm like, I'm trying to make him read this one. And they said, you know what? Let him pick the books. Let him choose what he wants to read. And slowly he will develop that habit of reading. And the same thing Ankur is saying, that, read what you want to read and not what the world says you should be reading. Of course, there are some books which if you like reading, you will love to read them. But if you don't like reading, you will be like, you know what, I can't read it. Like, I think Shanti has made me read this do epic shit because it was lying there, and I'm like, हाँ बहुत अच्छी है, and अंकुर ने लिखी है, I should read it. But there were so many other things. But now it's going around with me, and my kids laugh when they look at it, like, Mama, you're reading do epic shit. So so yes, it's sometimes you just have to do few things, and you, it is surprising how this book, every page I've read twice or thrice, and every time I read it and I'm like, oh okay, इसका मतलब ये भी तो हो सकता है. So yeah, the fifth is comfort zone. He's like, you will never achieve anything if you just be in your comfort zone. You have to step out. If you want to be successful, you have to step out of your comfort zone and do something different. You have to say, okay, you know what, this is what I've been doing, but to change my habit, this is additional I have to do. So that comfort zone, whatever you think is your comfort zone, you need to step out a little, and that will help you in life. And thoughts and actions. So that's page 93. It was very interesting. He says, we know others through their actions. We know ourselves through our thoughts. So he says, when what others are thinking, we don't know. Similarly, what we are thinking, they don't know. But only what we are doing, they would know. And that's how we are known, by our actions. So our thoughts and actions should be powerful. And he says thoughts should be powerful so that when they're converted into actions, that defines you. And people will not know your thoughts. If I keep saying, oh, you know what, I want to write LinkedIn posts, well, that's a good thought. Until I put it in action, nobody will know that I really want to do that. Right? Yeah. Any questions? Any thoughts on that? Anything which you want to take from this?
The thought that's coming to me. Go ahead, Pooja.
So these are few of the things which I thought were very powerful. I would like to know your thoughts on this.
One thing on the comfort zone, that came to me is, I think women find it easier to step into uncomfortable zones for others as compared to for themselves. For example, I learned Kathak with my daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so while she was learning and I had to wait there for an entire hour, had nothing else to do, so I just walked in and said, may I also join? And it happened. That too after waiting in the car outside. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's raining, just sitting outside. I got my nose pierced just a few years ago because my daughter wanted it and she was scared. So I said, come, I will do it. And she So I think I wouldn't have done it for myself, that stepping out of the comfort zone, but I think um, it comes to us a little bit more easy when it's for others. I would want to change that though.
How do you think you will change that?
Wondering, none of these thoughts, well, I want to learn dance never occurred. I want to pierce my nose never occurred. So I don't know if there is a thought, I think I would want to go ahead and do that and not wait for somebody else to initiate that thought.
Yeah, Viola, you want to say something? I know you haven't raised your hand, but
No, I
I
was
thought,
just listening to Shanti and resonated with me as well. But I still, but my daughter, wants to do a piercing or nose piercing. I do not go. I clearly say no. That's not me, and I can't relate to it. I was just thinking uh, as we speak. Um, something. If I have to look at this thought and action, um, when somebody else in front of you, if there is an action, right, they do something. Um, Again, we look at our perceptions, looking at that scenario, looking at that action. We form a certain perception about it, right? But when I'm doing something, I jump and try and explain. I don't even ask why you're doing this. What is your thought behind? And we are so quick to deciding or making a judgment about somebody's action. That's what was running in my head when you mentioned this. Maybe very different context to the book, what is mentioned here. And that's something I'm working on, right? It's very quick to form a perception up when you see an action, somebody's action in front of me. But when I do it, and it may be right, wrong, but I jump and justify it, saying, for this reason I did this. So that was what, when you mentioned this, that triggered because I read this some time back.
I think Shanti always wanted to do it. It's just that she got a push from her daughter's desires. Yeah.
Really,
So,
Shanti?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ishita, you want to go?
Yeah, I wanted to share something here. Um, I feel it is important to have your support people around you all the time who are there to nudge you time to time uh, of what you really want and what you don't want. Where is your boundaries coming into the picture? I look at my mother is a very big inspiration in my life, and um, I have seen her neglecting herself to take care of her family, for me, and everything. But when I grew up as a mother, yes, I'm a 4-year-old mother, so I will say that, yes. Um, when I was growing up, my support function, my mentors, my coaches, they were there to nudge me. Do you want this? They were there to ask me questions. If that is something that I really wanted, or it is something for somebody else that I was doing it, that actually makes you realize. So that awareness of what you have been neglecting in your life throughout, that also helps do a lot of things for us, um, and makes your life easy, very easy to handle. That's it for me.
Cool. Ashita, Pratibha, we haven't seen you or heard you. Do you wanna share your thoughts?
So, similar to what Ishita said, my mother also has been a very huge force in my life, in terms of pushing us, me and my sister both, in terms of pushing us to, do better, to achieve better. That even now, when, I'm old and everything, but even now she'll constantly, be like, you're not studying, you're not studying, you're not studying. I'm like, Mom, please. But she's like, nahi, nahi, beta, padhai se, you'll be able to move forward in life. If you don't study, you'll not be able to move forward in life. So, that's one thing. And then the second thing, my husband, he's very fond of me doing activities. I don't know, he just enjoys it if I am doing some activity. So, for example, if I am doing mandala, like I like, just coloring on the mandala book. So if I'm sitting and doing that, he feels extremely happy about it. So, like, I always wanted to learn how to dance, and I'm not there yet at all, but on my birthday he gifted me a salsa class. So he gifted me that. So he feels very happy if I'm doing something. So, these two forces have constantly pushed me, one in the study direction, the other one in the fun direction. So to balance, I think, things out, both the people have been pushing me in these directions. So I think I'm, but as I think Shanti ma'am also said, that people don't really do it on their own. It's if somebody is there to help them out, that okay, okay, let's do it together maybe, or to support somebody, then we end up doing it. So
That's true.
yeah.
That is true. Yeah. And I think happiness comes if we do achieve that thing which we do out of a comfort zone, right? It's that feeling of triumph ki yeah, अगर comfort zone वाला करते रहेंगे then we like हाँ, you know what, it's a part of our routine and we have done it, so what? But if we do something outside, it gives us immense happiness too. Okay, this is something which I wasn't very, I wasn't able to connect with, and I thought I'll need your help. Don't try to minimize your struggles, try to make it more meaningful. I want to understand, what does it really mean, and how do I make my struggles meaningful? What does that mean really? So this was one question which I thought was something which I couldn't connect with. I didn't understand from what he was trying to say. Uh, yes, but every time I read that page, I look at it differently, and it's like how magic happens and it keeps changing shapes. It's like that for me. This line.
I
I'll
can
go.
share what I made of this statement.
Sure, sure.
So when we look at the struggle, when we are experiencing some struggle, some challenge, we may question ourselves, why should it be me? Why are others protected? I am not good enough. Or we will have these statements to tell ourselves that the struggle is unwelcome, the struggle is, I don't want it in my life. Um, or it may be that no, the other extreme also. Oh, this is such a small struggle. Others are in a much worse condition. I should be grateful that I have at least this, I have at least that, that frame of mind. To me, neither of those seem to be healthy frames of mind. That, why only me, or oh my God, there are so many others who are in a worse condition, doesn't help me move forward or do something about the struggle I am in. Um, that's the first part. That don't try to minimize your struggle, either in comparison to others or by minimizing yourself. That's that thing. Try to make it more meaningful is all the habits that you said. Ask for help, start now, do something about it, and be okay with not being greatly successful. As long as you can minimize the harm the challenge is doing to you, that is also success, right?
Yes, true. But when he says minimize your struggle, in fact, you know, I would always want to probably. Sometimes there are times I'm like, oh, you know what? I just couldn't do it, and I'm so bad at it. How do I make it better? Or why is it always me? So I'm not minimizing it. On the contrary, I am expanding it. I am making it feel that, oh my God, look what's happening with me, even if it's a small thing, right? So, so yeah, it's kind of contradictory to,
Huh.
or maybe what you said, that how we belittle ourselves in our own minds.
Mhm.
Yeah. Would it be something that don't belittle yourself, but take your struggles and work towards them?
That's the meaning. Yeah, either belittling myself or the struggle itself because somebody else has a bigger struggle. So those are the only two interpretations I had for don't minimize your struggle. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else has any interpretation? Yeah, Viola.
Maybe don't try to minimize your struggles, as rightly most of you were talking about. Somebody else's challenge is very different than my challenge. My challenge is my challenge, right? For me, this is important, this is big, and I need to face it. Nobody's going to come and take that over for me. I need to handle that, right? So I have to figure out how I manage this, and not looking at it saying, somebody has something very big than me in terms of challenges. This could be, or maybe if I have a conversation, they would say, Are, yaar, I have something bigger to handle. This is just my thought. Don't try to minimize your struggle. Try to make no meaning out of it. Or so for me, that's important. That's big, and I need to face it. So I'm not going to look at it as compare it with somebody else. This is what I need to handle.
Yeah, don't compare yourself with others. Okay.
Their challenges could be very different. And maybe when I look at that challenge, it may say, Hari, I've gone through that. Right. But what I'm currently going through is my challenge, and I need to go through it. Maybe it's difficult, but I'm not going to look at it and compared to them, I'm better off and I have something small. No, this is burning for me.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So I thought let's talk about, let's introspect and see what are those habits which one good habit which we would like to share with others, and one bad habit which we want to take away. For me, sleeping on time, I'm very proud of it. Though at times I feel like a fun pooper, because if my family is like, oh, let's go out in the night, I'm like, no, mujhe sona hai. Because now my body is so used to it that by 9:30, if I'm not sleeping by 9:30, if I'm not sleeping, I am in a bad mood, and I know that it will go into the next day. The bad habit is belittling myself or not being able to appreciate what I have achieved. And I want to constantly remind myself that everybody has their own struggles, and whatever we see that people are doing really well, there is a different side to it too, and feel good about what I've achieved. Yeah. Anybody else wants to share? Akansha, you want to share a good habit of yours which you would, which will help us, and a bad habit which you would want to give away?
Um, I think a good habit I can't really think of one at the moment. Um, but bad habit definitely would be not sleeping on time. That's one thing that I am definitely struggling with. So I definitely need to change that part. And I think, yeah, I think I definitely need to change that bit for sure. And good habit would be, I think my eating habits are very good. So I think that's one good habit. I know it's not really related here, but my eating habits are very good. So definitely that's a good habit that I do have. And bad habit would be, I think I definitely should sleep. I sleep very late, especially if I have a deadline, then I will go crazy. So I need to understand that, work on myself on that better. So yeah, that would be my two bits on that.
Sakshi, you want to share?
I think my good habit is I am open to everything literally. Like whatever the challenges is, if I want it, I'm open to, getting how to get it and what will come for me. I'll take it all. Bad habit is not being consistent. I just can't. Like if I want to go skating every day, I'll go 3 4 days. I'll find some roadblock कि maybe road गंदा है या बारिश हो गई है या something like that, and I'll just stop it until next time. So that, yeah.
Yeah. Shanti?
My good habit is my resilience, not giving up. Uh, I start lots of things and I keep failing, not being consistent, but then I can come back, bounce back again and again, again and again. That's good. Bad habit, one thing that I want to change is not being on my gadgets before I go to bed.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah. Okay. So, Ankur says a very interesting thing. It's all a matter of intent. So, I'm reading from his book. As the world progresses, it's getting easier to slump into laziness and feel lethargic. And it is getting equally easier to lift yourself out of slumber and get moving. It is frankly a matter of intent. So I guess we all have listed our habits, what we want to change, what we are good at. It's all about intention. I think we all can do it. Maybe next time when we meet, we all can take a roll call as to what we have done towards it. Okay. The third chapter is awareness. We always have two choices, the easy one, the right one. So I wanted to ask you, does it come easy to you to make the difference, to make that choice? And what about not choosing any? Because for me, in a deeper level, not choosing any is also a choice, right? It's also a choice. So what do you do? I mean, do you have difficulty looking at how to decide which habit or which choice to make, or you just keep it lying in the back burner key? Okay, I'll see.
Sometimes just putting it on the back burner also helps, because over a period, eventually, some results emerge. Maybe you've taken it or you've not taken it. Sometimes life
That's a
teaches you
choice.
that. Yeah,
That's a
life teaches
choice
you
you've
that.
made,
Saying,
a
it's
subtle
okay,
choice. Yeah,
just park it and we'll figure out. And then many times we've figured it out. We've had conversations, or we've just thought about it, and
true. That is true.
sometimes it's wise not to take a decision also.
You've already made a decision there. You're just waiting for somebody else to intervene.
So
Okay. I'm going a little fast because we're already at 3:51. Everyone carries a heavy load. Be kind to others. Again, this was very interesting because sometimes in our work we forget this, and sometimes we think that oh she's or he is doing so well, so what's the big deal? Either ways, we need to be kind to others. Emotional debt has killed more people than financial debt. um, so Ankur says the debt of never saying I love you to your parents, the debt of never apologizing to the friend who has always been there for you. These things take away your happiness because you're always weighing upon it. Has it ever happened that somebody you like, or they're in they're your ecosystem, and when you say no to them, it keeps weighing on your mind that I said no to her or him, and you don't like it, but sometimes you have to do it, but it weighs on your mind. So he says money goes and comes. Uh, we might be in a position to pay those debts off one day. However, the emotional debt just keeps piling up and it kills us from inside. Being calm is a skill, right? Um, being calm when somebody is making fun of you, or you are being questioned, or you are left alone, all these times you are, if somebody is not calm, he or she will erupt or be upset about it. But if you are composed and you don't let this unpleasant feeling compound, then I think that's a skill you need to learn. And I think we all need to work it in some sphere or the other. Finding security in your own achievement is the biggest achievement. Again, it boils back to the same thing, that looking at others, we feel, oh, you know what, we have not achieved it. But if we can be content and happy with what we have achieved, that is a big thing. Because you are walking your own journey and they're walking their own journeys. Your path is different from their path. If you keep looking over their path, you'll miss the happiness, the bounties which you have on your own path. Serendipity happens to those who are not married to outcome, instead to the process. Knowing when to say no and saying it is a life skill. Merely knowing what you need to do is not enough for you to do it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And I thought this was very interesting. People will help you only when you have helped them understand what they can do or how they can help you. Right. And this first one I've written the last because it's important. Your self talk determines your self worth. We can keep saying to ourselves stories like, oh, you know what, I can never get up, I'm so useless, or I'm not getting along with these people, I just don't have it in me. But Alternatively, we can say if I take small steps, I can do it, or whatever I'm doing is good enough. And if you think that you need to change, you take baby steps to change yourself. So, Akanksha, that is also luck that we keep inching towards our goal or whatever we have in mind, and luck happens. Okay, I've not done it. Yeah. Epic shit, it's all about intent. And yes, Ankur and I went to the same school. But again, for me, success is comparing myself, and that's not good, which I know. But yeah, still I'm doing that. Okay, I think I've stopped sharing. Yes. Okay. So yeah, we still have 3 more chapters to go. Shanti, has anybody else read it? Do you want to share some nuggets from those chapters which you liked? I think I have not done full homework.
No, you've done a phenomenal job. I think lovely discussions, very, very well done, well structured. I think I loved your structuring, the way you brought the first 3 sections of the book together. Very beautifully done. Um, Now, people, open to you. What do you want to do? Do we want to put Pooja on the spot again and say, when you've read the remaining 3 chapters and come back? Or do we go with the next book, hoping that all of us will complete reading the book? I'm less than halfway through, just because Pooja was managing the show this time.
think we'll go to the next book.
We'll
Shanti.
go to the next book.
Something we
Sakshi, you were mentioning a book last time. What was that?
The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz.
And Sakshi, would you take lead next time? Share with us what the book
I will.
means. But let's also read, people. I know I am
Uh,
at fault too. I said um I'll read and I couldn't complete, but I think let's all make it a habit so that the discussions um we can bring in our own perspectives too. So Sakshi, keep nudging us and we will read along. Thank you, Ishita, for the take. Thanks everyone. Have a great evening and see you soon next month. Take care. Bye bye.